If I wanted to scale a daycare business all over again from scratch in 2026, here's exactly what I'll do. My name is Bryce Jackson. I'm a 24-year-old CEO, and after helping my own mom scale her daycare from 0 to 50K per month, and now going to get another daycare to do the exact same thing, I now help other daycare owners across the world in different states scale their daycare without having to be tech savvy. Number one thing that I would do starting over from scratch is to being able to find a facility that can hold as many kids as possible. This may be contradictory to what I might say 2 to 3 years from now, depending on how things go. But based off what I've seen, the more kids that you can fill in your daycare, the more money you can make and the more lives you can change, of course. I've seen daycares that do $200,000 to $300,000 per month off having around 200 kids. And if you can have a daycare and the square footage usually isn't that big, maybe around 6,000 to 10,000 max. I've seen even 3,000 to 5,000 square foot buildings, and it could be more than what it's letting off to seem. Meaning it could be more in the back room, or it could be a lot of rooms that they have to be able to branch off with teachers. But one of the most common ones that I've seen, they had around like a 5,000 square foot, and they had around 200 kids pulling in around $200,000 and $300,000 per month. So when you're looking for your facility, or if you already have it already, it's totally fine. Do it on your next one, but get as many kids, get as many licensed capacity as you can if you want to make as much money as you can. The next thing that I would do is find a good marketing team and find a good agency or a good strategy. If you are familiar, there's a lot of people that I work with who understand marketing in general. They just don't have the time for it, so they delegate it, which is totally fine. But definitely having a marketing strategy, how much you're going to make and how much you're going to delegate to be able to make this money, what you're going to be able to spend to market every single month. I see a lot of times these daycare owners don't necessarily allocate any marketing funds, and I mentioned this multiple times now, but I'm going to keep mentioning it because someone needs to hear it, and it might be you. So if you think that you don't need a daycare budget or a daycare marketing budget, you're wrong. And I'm here to tell you, after seeing just $4,000 make a 50K per month business, you don't need that much. You just need something to get started. Of course, you don't want to do $1 a day when it gets time for advertising, but if you're not spending your free time marketing your business every single day by posting the right type of content to attract the right type of people, and you're doing it consistently for 6 to 12 months, don't expect organic content, and organic just meaning free content, such as you go on your Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, or any social platform, and they let you upload it for free. That is organic content. So that is another thing that I would do. That would be the next thing I do. Create my marketing strategy and my marketing budget, so I would know how much money that I'll be able to spend for this facility. Number three, I would create a plan of how soon I'm looking to fill up and create targets for when I would fill up. So let's say if it's going to be 100 capacity building, I would say by the 90-day mark, I want to have at least 35 kids. By the 6-month mark, I want to have at least 60 kids. So you're not just upset, or you're not just going by the wayside. You at least have something to work towards. And every month, you're not just hoping to be full. That's not necessarily a good strategy. That's what I would do if I was starting over again. And like I said, you don't need to have the biggest budget. You don't need to have the biggest facility. But if you were to go from scratch, having a bigger facility and trusting yourself that you will be able to pay for it because of the money that it's making, that's why having the good marketing plan is super important. When you trust yourself, it's kind of like a boxer. You know, when they get tired, they don't necessarily stop punching because they trust themselves. People who don't trust themselves when they box, they usually will stop punching because they're tired and they don't want to tire themselves out even more. So I know it kind of is a weird example, but I think you get the point. A lot of times too, I see daycare owners not necessarily care about teachers. I would make sure I had the best staff. This will be the next one. Caring about my staff and making sure the people who come in have a certain type of checklist that they would attend to. And also I would give rewards and bonuses to my teachers for them hitting certain checklists. I would also make jobs for them to call my leads, so I'm paying them to do a job that makes me way more money than it costs for them to be there. And if you go look at any business, they make sure that you make them more money than they pay you for. So I would add that in. Even if you were to give them if they were getting paid $17 an hour, I would pay mine 21, but they're calling. I'll pay them 25. I don't care about dollars per hour if I'm being 100% honest, because I care more about value. The more value you provide in the world, the more money you make, and your bank account is a direct correlation to how much value you've provided to the world. That's what my millionaire mentors told me. I would care about my teachers so much that every person that comes in feels the director energy from each teacher, not just random, yeah, you can come work here, my cousin can come work here, my uncle can come work here. No, I would keep it very high class. I would make sure that they're always in uniform. Having uniforms look so well, even on field trips when you're going somewhere. I've seen a lot of daycares who don't really care about the appeal of what it looks like when someone random walks in, or when they go outside of the facility. And that, to me, doesn't make sense. Like, I would think that you would want to show off and market as much as you can. There was a daycare owner, I suggested that she wraps and put a logo on her van. She gets the van a week later. She gets 3 enrollments from that, just because she put the logo on the van when she was going to pick up the kids. But before, she was picking up the kids for a year or two without having any logo to let them know. So all this time, you could have had 10 to 20 enrollments just off of free marketing. So being able to pay attention to that's a little off topic, but it's just all tips for you to be able to stack your daycare knowledge and be able to get full as soon as possible. If you're a daycare owner that wants to scale to capacity as soon as possible without being tech savvy, you want someone to come in and do the marketing for you, fully done for you. So all you have to do is look up, see a tour booked, take the tour and close it. Click the link down below and check out our school community, or you can book a daycare growth call. It doesn't cost anything. The next thing that I would do if I was to start over from scratch to be able to scale my business all the way up, I would create a mascot and a theme. Have, an elephant for listening ears, have a giraffe for good behavior. Hey, make sure you guys are being good for Guillermo the giraffe, whatever the slogan is. I've seen a lot of creative things, and you can get super creative, but having these mascots or themes to be able to push the culture more, and also being able to let the world know your differentiator. If you have a Lego theme, if you have a doctor background, if you have some type of culture that you want the world to see, that is what you should be portraying to the market, and being able to record it more, and also recording your daycare and sharing it with the world. So at least when you do get the time to market it right with someone who knows what they're doing, like if you were to come to us and work with us, we would ask you for what you already have. And if you don't have anything, then that's another week of going to record, and really a day, but sometimes you guys can take a week. And if you're actionable, then of course it can take less than a day. But the more you do, the more chances that you have to be successful, and all of the work will stack. If you don't know how to run Facebook ads, hire someone. It's costing you maybe 20 to 50 to 100 grand a month, depending on your type of business. And I'm a root for myself because I'm an agency owner, but even if I didn't have the business, I really, really would advocate for you to find the right one. Because I would literally, looking back at it, there's not one skill that I haven't learned myself that I haven't delegated at some point. Even the ads that I run, I delegate to an ad manager. These videos that I can edit, I can delegate to my editor. I have clients that send me stuff, I send that to my editors. I know how to edit though. So delegation is super important. So don't just wait when you can, stack 100 different kids because you have someone that's running the ads for you, but it costs you maybe $2,000 a month. We don't even charge that much right now, but don't wait. This is literally your business depending on it. But yeah, I think that's all. I think that's the only tips that I would do and start over with. Of course, I would expand to another location and be able to do that. But starting from scratch to be able to get my building, get the biggest building, to have my mascots, have my teachers, have a great marketing plan, have targets that I'm hitting, I think that's a significant place to start. And I hope you use these tips wisely. And if you're starting from scratch, this is definitely going to be beneficial for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure you like and subscribe. This is a new channel that I'm doing just for you as a daycare owner, if you're interested or if you already have one. So I would love for you to share with others that might be interested, or at least just leave a like or a comment or subscribe. Thanks.